As far as if I'm concerned for my health and well-being, nah. Nah. Mm-mm. Good morning. No, it's afternoon. It's Monday, and I know what you're thinking, Kelsey. Oh my god, there's a girl on the roof. She's smoking? Oh my god, she can totally see me. Leave! Like I was saying, currently, Monday, March 2nd? Yes, Monday, March 2nd at around 2 p.m. And normally I'd be at work, but guess what? I haven't worked in like 2 weeks. That's not true, it's been a week. Basically, in case you live under a rock, you will have heard about the virus that's been going around called COVID-19 or coronavirus. So yeah, I get a lot of people who are concerned for my health and well-being because I do live in South Korea, I live in Seoul, so obviously there's quite a bit happening right now where I am. So I thought I'd just come on here and clear some stuff up. So let's timeline this. Now, I'm not like a professional doctor or anything. I'm just gonna tell you guys what's been happening over here, the way I see it. Of course, I might be wrong about everything. So basically, this all kind of happened at the end of January and the beginning of February, right when Lunar New Year's happened, which is a big holiday. So it started in China, and then people came over from China, and you know, these things happened, it got spread. As soon as it came, and there were cases reported in Korea, we had, I don't know, like 6 or 7 in the first few days, and people were kind of freaking out a little bit, and you know, everybody's wearing their masks on public transportation, and there's like things that are like wash your hands everywhere. But you know, we were like chilling, it was contained. I do work at a school, and so we had to all wear face masks during class, instructional time, and also all of the children were encouraged to wear face masks. So that was great. That was fine. Face masks were kind of hard to find, but like if you went to the right place, you could get some. We were okay. And so that went on for about, oh god, like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. And by that point, you know, we had more cases, but there were not many deaths, and everything was under control. Patients were being discharged, they were recovering. And then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. And by the Fire Nation, I mean the 31st patient or confirmed patient was this woman. So there's this woman, she was the 31st patient, and I think sometime around mid-February is when all of this stuff went down. Like things were good up until that point. People were starting to calm down, the public awareness, you know, was going back down. Like it used to be everybody was wearing masks on public transportation, and then it went down to like some people, it kind of seemed okay not to. You could still go out and have fun. In fact, I went out and had fun. I went to the clubs with Gabby and Emily who came to visit. Wow, we all had so much fun back then, back in those days before everything went to shit. I'm really not happy about this turn of events. So then the 31st patient, I don't know if we can blame this entirely on her because I think it was gonna get out of hand anyway, but I know for a fact that before her it was very much more contained. The 31st patient was a older woman who was part of a religious sect called the Shincheonji Church. She had symptoms, and a hospital recommended that she get tested, and part of this church's beliefs is that they don't necessarily believe in like medical assistance or like using like modern medicine and stuff like that. They think that like if it's God's will, like they'll get better. So the hospital recommended to this woman that she be tested for the potential of having the coronavirus, and she declined and then went about her merry way into a service, which, you know, those services are quite large, 1,000 people. And then after that happened, we saw a jump from 31 patients into hundreds of patients in the next few days. And now, around 2 weeks later, we have just hit 4,000 confirmed cases in South Korea, with more on the way. Anyway, after that incident, we saw a huge spike in cases, and basically everybody kind of lost their mind when it started getting into the thousands. After a little bit, the government kind of impose stricter regulations. You can't do what she did and just say, oh no, deuces, they're gonna test you. And they're, you know, in the process of testing basically all of the members of this church, and the majority of the new cases that were coming out are all linked to this church, and or, you know, there's obviously some in the surrounding areas that are not. But so yeah, this morning there are 476 new cases. Total's now at 4,212 with 22 deaths. It says 8 out of the 10 cases were reported in Daegu, where she lived and where she attended that service. Or Daegu's a pretty large city. It's the 4th largest city in Korea. So there's a little chart here. So on the 22nd of February, we are at 433 cases, and as of today, March 2nd, there are 4,200 cases. So that's it jumped, how many days is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So in 9 days, so like a little over a week, the cases confirmed in Korea have multiplied by 10. So now it's like, what are we doing? Right, because cases are spreading into Seoul now. Most of the regions in Seoul have some confirmed cases. There's not many. It's not at the same level as Daegu, which is still the main center of the outbreak. But because of this, a lot of things have been canceled. Like, the government has urged people not to meet in public places. I know a lot of church services and stuff has been canceled. And part of that is they did close the public schools for about 2 weeks until March 9th, which is next Monday. So a week from now is when public schools will be reopening. And so my institution that I work for is not a public school, it's a private school, but they also chose to follow that to hopefully stop the spread, because reports said that this week here would be like an integral point in stopping the big spread of this virus. Around the time that things really got more serious is the time that the school semesters change in Korean schooling. So around end of February, beginning of March is when the new school year starts. A lot of graduation ceremonies were canceled. They're postponing the semester starting for next year. Also, my Korean classes have been canceled, so I haven't been going to that. Basically anything that involves people coming together has been canceled. So a lot of things are kind of just on hold here. I don't know. People are like, Kelsey, what's up? And it's like, well, I'm just chilling in my home because I have nothing else to do. For one, all of the masks are sold out or completely price gouged. There's signs outside of pharmacies that say, we don't have any masks here. But everybody seems to be wearing one outside, so not really sure where they're getting their masks. So that's one thing. The other day I went grocery shopping and I walked into this, the mart is in the bottom of a larger building, and they have a wedding hall in there where they have weddings and events and stuff, obviously. And when I walked in, there was a man there at a nice little desk with his little temperature scanner, and actually they had all of the exits blocked off except for the one so that they could check your temperature when you walk in. So that's how Seoul is dealing with it. A lot of public places like banks and the post office and places where a lot of people go have like the little heat thermal energy, no, like temperature scanning cameras. That's the word. A lot of businesses are closing, maybe just temporarily. The patronage of a lot of places is down, so people are really concerned about the economy and the effects this is going to have, but also at the same time can't do anything. A lot of big companies have also encouraged their employees to work from home or just not come in order to stop people from moving about and like mixing while they're still trying to make sure everything is contained. I get daily emergency alerts from the city, like a million of them, to let you know, like, oh, there were 2 confirmed cases here and they went here. Have you been to this PC bong? If you've been to this PC bong, you need to be careful. So they're really on top of it. We have a lot of information, which is great, about where people who are confirmed to have the virus have been. One of the unfortunate parts about the entire initial thing is the 31st confirmed case woman was not forthcoming with the information about where she had been and where she has traveled. Where have you been? Who have you met? Things like that are really important, so that they can let people know, oh, there was a confirmed case in this mall or in this convenience store. Things like that, so that people can know. So they are doing their best to stay on top of that, but as the cases increase, it's gonna become increasingly more difficult to figure out all of the personal information about all of these people. They're testing thousands and thousands of people every day, so the more people they test, obviously the more cases will come out. A lot of people are still going out and trying to have fun and go drinking and stuff on the weekends, but not nearly as many people as there would be usually. In fact, there's quite a few clubs in Gangnam, and all of them except for two closed down in order to stop the spread of this. And actually the other day, was it last weekend? Last weekend, we were headed out in Gangnam. They said at the door of this place, it wasn't like a big club or anything, and they said that there were no foreigners allowed entry, which I find kind of dumb, because at this point it's not a foreign problem, it's a Korean problem in Korea. But if that's how they want to handle it, that's how they have to handle it. You can't fault people for being scared. So that's another response. So yeah, I haven't been out necessarily anywhere too crowded, just because I think I don't really want to risk it. As far as if I'm concerned for my health and well-being, nah. Nah. Even if I were to contract the virus, I think I would be okay on account of being pretty young and healthy. I do exercise, speaking of which my gym is still open. Just being extra precautious I think is the best thing you can do, but I don't think it's necessarily cause for panic here yet. However, you know, the situation changes every day. Cases will continue to be increasing, I'm sure, in the next coming week, is what I've heard. One of the big takeaways is I am so bored. I'm so bored. I haven't been to work in like a week and I am bored. But obviously it's better that I stay inside and be bored than go out and run around and maybe get sick. That's the situation here in Seoul. As of today, it could get worse, it could get better. There's not really an end in sight. As far as I've seen, there's no like reports of like, oh, and it's gonna all get better. I don't really see the point in living in fear of a possibility. I see the point in being careful of that possibility, but I am trying to, you know, still have a good time despite the fact that I spend most of my time inside. Yeah, if you want to know any more information, there's a ton of it out there. The website I personally use for news is the Korean Herald because it's in English. I think a lot of fear comes from misinformation or lack of information, so the more you educate yourself, the better aware you are. We're still going. People are still out drinking and smoking, and that'll kill you probably before the virus does. Anyway, that's the situation here in Seoul, and some details about how we got here, what we're doing here, and I don't know what's gonna happen in the future. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Don't touch your mouth. Yeah, and I'll see you next with a vlog of some fun times before everything was shut down. Bye! That's how these things spread. Just eating stuff you're not supposed to be eating. Like the rich. How about noodles? I like noodles. The camera's gonna die before this woman stops smoking. I can water my plants. Oh, that's always good. Come here. Look, I have this one. This one's doing all right. And then I have this one. This one's okay. It's a little bit wrinkly. This one's doing pretty well. And then I got my cactus. My cactus is obviously suffering. But it is the oldest here. I don't really get that much sunlight in this house. Aha! Okay, she's sitting not facing me. Great, we can start this video.